I didn't know everybody was already in the. Welcome, 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 everybody. Nice to see you all this evening. Thank you, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you all this evening. It's a bit cold in my house, so let me put my sweater a bit more. My name is Maliz, and it's such a pleasure to be with you guys to cover for your facilitator. So today we're going to be talking about two things that are really important to me, and I hope they're important to you: grit and resilience. So, y'all, write in the chats grit and resilience. Let me just make sure that y'all are with me this evening. Grit and resilience. Awesome, 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 awesome. I love it. So the reason why I chose every single time I start a session, I start with a champion song, which will, and the reason why I chose Flashlight is I know some of you guys said you like Pitch Perfect. I do too. But also, I felt like it's such a good song because we need a lot of light in order for us to have grit and resilience. There's so many things that are going to come to us. There's so many situations happening, a lot of darkness, but we have to be the light within the world, right? And two characteristics that you need to have in order to even be a light is grit and resilience. Um, so, we're going to explore how grit and resilience drives long term success by combining passion, perseverance, and the ability to bounce back from setbacks. We will learn how consistent effort, deliberate practice, and a growth mindset strengthens these skills and discover practical strategies to build them in our own lives. So, we're going to set focused goals, we're going to embrace challenges, we're going to reflect on failure as learning opportunities, we're going to develop habits that support sustained achievement and personal growth. So here are some quotes for us to think over. One of them is grit is living a life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's from Angela Duckworth. Oprah Winfrey said, when there's no struggle, there is no strength. And then also another one is being able to move forward in spite of anything. Okie dokie. Okay, so last class, you guys became your own decision architect, right? And in the last class, we explored how the environments around us quietly shape the choices we make. We learned how design, framing, and subtle cues can nudge our behavior, often without us realizing it, and how awareness helps us take back control by practicing how to design positive nudges for ourselves. We discovered that we can build environments that make good decisions easier and more intentional. Okie dokie. Okay, so next slide is our learning objectives. And I'm gonna have somebody start us off by reading the first bullet. So, Chris, who do we want to call on to start the popcorn?
I want to call on Andrea Fuentes.
Okay, Andrea, you can start us off on the first bullet.
Mm, Grit is developed through long term passion and perseverance, with constant effort being more crucial for achievement than talent or brief motivation.
Awesome. Andrea, who do you want to call on to read the next bullet?
Uh, Jalen.
Explore how resilience develops through setbacks, optimism, and growth mindset, and learn how reframing challenges can strengthen confidence and persistence.
Awesome. Jalen, who are you going to call on? You're on mute, so okay.
Jocelyn,
Build grit and resilience by setting long-term goals, reframing failure as feedback, and developing small, consistent habits for growth.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jocelyn. Okie dokie. So right now we're going to launch a poll. And you guys, we're going to discuss the poll. So make sure you poll away so that when I call on you, you're not having an answer. So, all right. Thank you guys. We have 3 people so far out of the 48 wonderful people that we have in here. Okay. All right. We're waiting on 6 more people. Okay. We're 4 people away. Hmm. Awesome. Okay. We have 3 more people. So hopefully these 3 people, you're not the people that I call on. Okie dokie. So majority, we can end the poll now. Okay. So majority of people said when stress hits, what helps you bounce back the most? 53% of people said taking a break or resting. Number 2, which area in your life could use more grit or consistency? 62% would say schoolwork. Interesting. Number 3, if you could improve one skill for resilience, what would it be? And 40% said keeping motivation over time. Okie dokie. So we're going to call on somebody. Chris, who are we going to call on for them to answer the first question? When stress hits, what helps you bounce back the most?
I'm gonna call on Brian.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ryan, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question again? I was doing the workbook survey while.
No worries. So when stress hit, what helps you bounce back the most? Is it talking to someone I trust, taking a break or resting, reframing the challenge or ignoring it and moving on?
I like talking to someone that I trust. It makes me like kind of open up and be vulnerable to someone else, and maybe get new advice that I could use.
Ryan, that's good. That's really good. I love that. Honestly, you guys, there's not a wrong answer, right? But I think being able to just have discourse with someone else, discuss with them potentially like what's going on with you, what are you dealing with, it actually helps you better to kind of think through some of these things, right? So that is a very good answer. And I'm happy that you have some clarity around that. All right. Who are we?
I like to call on
Uh-huh.
Obed.
Okay, you're gonna call on Obed. Okay, Obed. I was gonna ask Chris too, but it seems like Brian's putting you on the spot. It's your time to shine.
I got it. Where we at right now though?
We're at question number 2. What area in your life could use more grit or consistency? Is it schoolwork? Is it fitness or health? Is it hobbies or skills? Or is it relationships or teamwork?
I say my schoolwork because I procrastinate a lot. So I be slacking it, and I gotta start doing my schoolwork more. So
Okay, Obed. So how are you? How are you gonna do this? Like, what's the plan? Like,
The plan is
mhm.
set deadlines for myself and work on schoolwork as soon as I get it, if possible, or as soon
Oh,
as I can.
all right. Love it for you. Okay, since we're out here doing popcorn, who do
Can I
you
call
want to
someone?
call up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like for Luis Flores to answer the next question.
Okay, Luis, it's your time to shine. If you could improve one skill for resilience, what would it be? A, staying calm under pressure. B, keeping motivation over time. C, recovering faster after failure. Or D, believing in yourself more.
For me, it would be recovering. I feel like once I mess up or something goes wrong, I tend to think it's over. So if I was better with that, I think my resilience would be better.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I think all of us, honestly can relate to that because I think there's times when we feel like I always tell my cohort that you have to be able to fail forward, right? And there's not really such a thing as failure as long as you're learning from your lessons. So that recovery time is just you being literally resilient or having grit to say, I'm not going to let this thing get me down. I'm not going to let it bring me down. You know what I mean? Um, it's been tomorrow will make it 2 months since I lost my dad. And even though I have to like, go through my grieving process and I have to like worry about a number of things, the planning of the funeral, all of these different things that we're doing, and I still have thank you guys, and I still have my real life, right? But of course, I have to make a decision every day that I'm going to have grit and resilience. So no matter all the things that are like being thrown at me, I'm like, no, I'm not a punk. Like, I'm going to be able to, decide that I'm going to make my day a good day. Not to say that you can't, be one with your emotions or experience life, but thank you. I appreciate it, guys. You just have to remember that, no matter what life throws at you, you are bigger than the challenges that may be trying to come at you. So I hope this is helpful to you guys, some way, somehow. All right, our next slide. Thank you. Okay, so grit equals passion times perseverance over time, right? So some of the key points that we have is grit isn't talent. It's the combination of sustained effort and consistent interest over the years, even when things get hard or boring. So grit is a predicator of success. So that's something that Duckworth studies at West Point, the National Spelling Bee, and among salespeople show that grit predicts achievement more accurately than IQ or talent. Passion requires direction. Only gritty people, sorry, aren't just hardworking. They have a long-term goal that fuels their effort. So effort counts twice. So Duckworth's formula is talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals achievement. Achievement. Effort is the key multiplier. So consistency over intensity. So research from Anders Erickson Peak shows that deliberate practice, steady focused effort tends to lead to mastery more than bursts of motivation. All right. Okay, we can move to our next slide. Okay. So the workbook question is think about something you stuck with over time. What helped you stay consistent even when the initial excitement faded? So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. Then we're going to hop into breakout rooms for about 4 minutes. And then we'll reconvene. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to answer the question by yourself. You can start the timer now. Okie dokie. So they can go into their breakout rooms now, Chris.
Yes, that's right. And the rooms are open now, Maliz. Thank you.
Okay, great. Is Giovanni an assistant, or is he supposed to be in the breakout room?
He is supposed to be in a breakout room. I've already assigned him a room. He just have to accept the invite.
Okie dokie. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay. I think you guys are still trickling back in. Is everybody back, Chris?
Yes, everyone is back in the main room.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so who are we gonna call on to start us off with what they discussed in their breakout room?
I really want to hear from Brian Espinal.
I feel like
She
Brian
didn't
has
ask you, bro. She asked
spoken.
Chris, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd love that you want to hear from Brian, but Brian has
Yeah.
spoken. So
Yeah,
we're
it's okay.
gonna
Thank you, Maliz.
actually,
Thank
but
you.
since you want to call on somebody, who else do you
Brian
want to
has
call on?
such good insight. I really want to hear from him.
I love that, but who else would you like to call on that has not spoken?
I don't know, maybe Christopher Del Rosario.
Okay, Christopher. Christopher, what did you guys speak about in your group?
Yeah, in my group we were we were talking about like what am I
Christopher, you are really cracking up. What is so funny?
nothing. I'm chilling.
Okay.
But in my group we were talking about how like we just stick to things over time. Like one of my classmates when they were talking about how they stuck with something with leadership and she like really enjoys it.
Interesting. Okay. So think about something you've stuck with over time. What helped you stay consistent even when the initial excitement faded? For you, when initial excitement fades, how do you stick with your goal? Christopher.
Wait, can you repeat that?
For you, right? When initial excitement fades, right? How do you stick with your goal?
Oh, I just stay locked in and like I like push forward.
And how do you stay locked in? What are your steps that make you stay locked in?
I tend to do like breathing exercises or like I like ask for like I just ask for help.
Okay, interesting. All right. Thank you, Christopher. I'm so happy you're so jovial this evening. I love that for you. Okay, I'm going to call on somebody. I'm gonna look at my screen and see who's the lucky person that I'm gonna call on. It looks like Naya. I hope I'm saying your name right. Nyah. Naya, are you
Yes.
there? Okay, awesome. So, what did you guys discuss in your group?
Well, someone in my group mentioned how they do cross country and how they have to go to another school to do it, and that got pretty annoying for them or like irritating. But they really like cross country, and they just focus on that instead of having to go to like different places.
That is a good one because the thing about it is, thank you so much for sharing, Naya. So sometimes you're going to like have a passion or you're going to have a dream or a goal that's going to force you to be uncomfortable or out of your routine or make you be pushed the extra mile, right? And so I think that's a really good example because sometimes it's not always going to be easy peasy. Sometimes it looks like for me when I was in high school, I used to attend another academy in addition to my high school because they offered the marketing classes that I couldn't take in my high school. So I had to be a little bit more gritty and I had to be more resilient. Um, but it worked out because I got opportunities that I wouldn't have just received singularly at my high school. So, but Naya, for you, what would you say is like, how does having a clear goal make it easier to stay consistent?
I think having a clear goal can help you stay consistent because you know exactly what you're focusing on and you don't have to worry about other things on the side because you're already like focused and you already know like exactly what it is specifically, you know, instead of
Period,
getting like
Naya. That is
sidetracked.
wonderful. I love it. So you said that when you have a clear goal, it helps you be consistent because you know exactly what you're focused on and you're not sidetracked. Correct? Awesome. Y'all put party emojis for Naya because I love that answer. Being focused, having clear goals are really imperative in order for us to move forward and progress. We have to be progressive people. Life comes at you fast, but you got to figure out, what's the best way to maneuver. Okie dokie. We can call on one more group. Um, I am going to call on Emily. I think it's Emily. Emely.
Um, Something they talked about in my circle. Wait, we're answering the workbook
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah.
Oh, they said like, Andrew mentioned how he liked like a book for lit, I think, and then he like didn't he like it, but he still wanted like he continued to read it because he wanted to get more like comfortable with the plot or like understand the plot more.
Interesting. So it's a situation where even though sometimes maybe something is not necessarily what you thought it was going to be, but you're sticking to it just so that you can have a better understanding. It happens. That happens in life. Thank you for sharing that, Emily. For you, Emily, how do you handle boredom or frustration when progress feels slow?
Um, I just like hope for the best and like if things don't work out, then they don't, but if they do, then that's good.
I love it. An optimist. I love that. Excellent. Thank you for everyone who shared. Thank you for everyone who shared your joy as well. All right. Okay, so this slide, we're talking about resilience, bouncing back and learning from setbacks. Okay, y'all write bounce back in the chat. Bounce back, bounce back. So me and my cousins, we have this thing that we always talk about. We'd be like, "Oh, we have the bounce back anointing." It just basically means that you have the grace to bounce back. Like I told y'all, life will come at you. Things will happen. Situations maybe that you didn't expect, or challenges financially, emotionally, physically, all of the things, because life just be life in. But you have to be able to have a mindset of bouncing back, right? And saying that I'm not going to let this get me down and this too shall pass. So, resilience equals bounce back and learning from setbacks. So, there's one thing to bounce back, there's another thing to learn from your setback so that the bounce back stays a bounce back. Like, you just don't want to you don't want to keep repeating the same mistake, going into negative cycles, right? So resilience isn't about never failing. It's about how quickly and effectively you get back up and learn from failure. The growth mindset connection. So Carl Dweck's research shows that believing you can improve through efforts leads to higher resilience after failure. Optimism as a buffer. Martin Seligman learned optimism found that students who view setbacks as temporary and specific recover faster and perform better academically. A number of you said that you want to do better in your academics. So I think this is a good place for us to look and see how can we take these skills and apply them to our everyday life. Stress inoculation. That's research by Dr. Aaliyah Crum at Stanford. She found that reframing stress as a challenge and not a threat improves performance and health outcomes. Stories of resilience. For Michael Jordan, being cut from his high school basketball team to J.K. Rowling's early rejections, real world examples show us how resilience fuels achievement. You guys, I always tell this story about how I ran for vice president of student council when I was like a sophomore. Is that a sophomore? Sophomore or junior in high school. And I didn't get it. Like, they really had the audacity, not to vote for me. But that wasn't where I was supposed to be. I wasn't where I was supposed to be. Where I was supposed to be was in another office, right? And so I actually got later on, way later, that had passed. I was so sad. I was crying. My mom was like, "Girl, you don't need to be crying about this. It's not like it is okay. You are gonna live another day." But then what ended up happening way later, they had to start recruiting for the prom chair, and they wanted to do a vote situation, right? They wanted to like vote for the office. But the previous prom chair was like, no, we don't need to vote for someone. I've appointed the person that I want. And the person was me. Now, that role of me being prom chair and everything that came with it, the grit, the resilience, having to raise like $30,000 for my school, planning the entire prom for the whole school as a teenager with I didn't have any committee. It was me and my advisor and my cousin who didn't go to the school but wanted to support me. That was the committee. Funny enough, in my real life, looking many years, decades or a decade plus, whatever, later now, that's the work that I do. So sometimes something can happen and you can feel like it's the end of the world, right? But, whatever your faith is or whatever you believe, most of these things are a setup for something greater that you don't understand. I was being cultivated into the woman that I am now and really being pushed forward in my career. So I just want you guys to be encouraged. Sometimes it may look funny, like a Michael Jackson. I'm sure Michael Jackson had issues, but like a Michael Jordan who got rejected, but MJ is like one of the biggest basketball players of all time. So it happens to the greatest, and everybody in this room today is very great. So if you're experiencing a form of rejection, just understand that this too shall pass. Just learn from the setback. All right, we can move to the next slide. All right, another workbook question. Think of a time you failed at something important. How did you respond, and what would you do differently now that you have a growth mindset? I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds and then we're going to call on someone. And I'm going to call on the person. Okay. So, you can start the timer now. All right, I have my person. Isaac Thomas, tell us about a time, please.
Something important I failed at was when I forgot to bring the brochure I needed for my presentation, and it was worth half my grade. And I responded by trying to raise my grade by trying harder in the class. And something I would do differently with my growth mindset is by using an agenda and reminders for assignments and projects.
I love your accountability, Isaac, and just the way that you were able to turn the situation around. It happens to the best of us. Unfortunately, we just all got to do better. But sometimes we realize that, forgetting things can really cost us a lot, whether it be our grade, whether it be finances, XYZ. So I love how you said that you learned from that by setting better measures in place, whether it's your agenda, your calendar, all of the things for scheduling. So thank you for sharing, Isaac. Okay, I'm gonna call on a female. Let me look. Jimena, student leader.
So the thing is that I'm not really good at chemistry, and I think I failed my test once, and I was really sad since I did really study on
Mhm.
it. And ended up retaking the test, but I think something I'll do differently is not really stress about it and not really be sad, since I was really sad for a while and it didn't get me anywhere. Instead, I should have just studied more and.
I love that, Jimena. I love that. Because it's natural. It's natural for us to be down in the dumps about things like this. We talked about this. I think that's a good thing because it goes back to what we talked about, the recovery time, like having a quicker recovery time. And you gave a solution, right? Your solution is that I am going to spend less time being sad, but I'm going to figure out how I can study better to make the grade that I want. And then you also took the initiative to do a retake. Some people would have been like, yeah, I'm good off this. So, and there's no way we can be the millionaires, billionaires that we're trying to be if we're not doing at least pretty decent in school. So, I'm proud of you guys for talking about how you want to improve your academics because school is the first, what would I say, the first grounds you have for life, right? So, and extracurriculars and things like that. These are the things that are building you for who you're going to be tomorrow. So we can move to our next slide. Thank you, Jimena and Isaac, for sharing. All right. So, how to build grit and resilience in your own life. So, both grit and resilience are trainable skills. You can develop them through intentional practice, reflection, and mindset shifts. Here are some practical tips on building grit and resilience. So, choose one challenge and stick with it. So, picking one thing, a sports, art form, club, or personal goal, and commit to it for the next couple of months. You guys write in the chat and let me know like what type of extracurricular activities you guys are in. It could be chess, it could be photography, it could be cross country, it could be cheer. I'm just interested to know what are some of the things that are you guys involved in. Okay, orchestra. Oh my God, that's so cool. Basketball, volleyball, cool. Journalism. Oh, y'all are dope. I love it. Okay, so when you're feeling like quitting, remind yourself consistency beats intensity. Track progress with a calendar, checklist, or a journal so you can see your effort build. Reframe failure as a feedback. Reframe failure as feedback. When things go wrong, ask what can I learn from this instead of why did I fail? Use the word yet. I'm not good at this to remind yourself that growth takes time. Write down the lessons you learned from a challenge each week to build your resilience log. Build small, consistent habits. Start tiny, study for 10 minutes, do one push up, or read one page each day. Attach new habits to existing ones after brushing your teeth. I'll focus on showing up daily. Grit grows every time you follow through. That's an example, right? Brushing your teeth. All right. Thank you guys for sharing about some of your extracurriculars. Y'all are really, really cool in real life. I love that. Okay, so next slide, please. All right, we have another workbook question amongst us. So, think of one area in your life where you want to become more consistent or resilient. What's one small action you can take each day to move forward? And how will you remind yourself to keep going when it gets hard? Ooh, they're asking you guys a lot. So they're asking you for your area of focus, your daily action, and how you stay consistent. I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute because this is a bit more information that you have to plug in. So you can start the time now. Okie dokie. So we have a little bit of time. I want to show you guys a video, and then we'll come back to see who could potentially share about the workbook.
Hello Psych2Goers, and welcome back to another video. Your support helps us make mental health and psychology more accessible to everyone, and we wanted to thank you for all the love you've given us. Now back to the video. What is resilience? Resilience means you're able to withstand or recover from difficult situations in your life. It can help us deal with heartbreak, failure, and life stressors. When we build our resilience, we're able to better recover from hardships and setbacks in a more healthy way. Resilience might be something you're searching for, especially now, between dealing with the pandemic and trying to return to some semblance of normalcy. Staying resilient in these trying times is key in keeping up with your mental and physical health. With that said, these are 8 things resilient people do. 1. You stay flexible and open-minded. Do you often stay open to new ideas, opportunities, and solutions? Resilience is all about trying to make the best out of what may seem like the worst. When you're resilient, you don't have a one-track mind. You give yourself the time and opportunity to think everything out before jumping to a conclusion or fretting over worst-case scenarios. 2. You practice patience and kindness. Whether it's in the workplace or with friends, you're known for showing patience and kindness towards others. This includes being kind to yourself when you mess up. Being kind and patient with yourself is just as important as it is with other people. 3. You're generally optimistic. When something bad happens, are you able to look at the big picture? You don't let one bad slip-up ruin your whole day, and know not to fixate on the bad things. You focus on what you're grateful for, like your friends, family, and possessions, instead of looking for the negatives. This optimistic mindset isn't only a key part of being resilient, but it can also help make you happier overall. 4. You live in the present. It's easy to fall into spiraling thoughts of your regrets and past mistakes, wondering what might have been. But dwelling on your mistakes won't change anything about your past. Moving on and learning from your mistakes takes resilience. When you're resilient, you learn how to accept what happened to you and focus on what you can do in the present. 5. You value and build good relationships. Do you take the extra time needed to build those strong relationships with the important people in your lives? Having a support system is very important. Friends and family are the ones who are there to celebrate your highs and a shoulder to cry on during your lows. As someone who is resilient, you know that once you've built a strong support system, then you're set for life. 6. You know and consider your limits. Are you aware when you need help, or do you burn yourself out unnecessarily? No one is perfect, and no one can do everything by themselves. Everyone has blind spots and weaknesses. This is why you know when to confide in your trusted peers, or when to take a break, and how to practice good self-care. 7. You know how to handle rejection. Rejection in any form can be hard to swallow. Maybe you didn't get the job you really wanted, or your crush doesn't like you back in the same way. Do you take these things very personally and think you're not good enough? Or do you recognize instead that there are other factors involved in making these decisions, like other more qualified applicants or another person's feelings? As someone who is resilient, you try not to let rejection get the best of you and decide to move forward instead of letting any kind of self-loathing hold you back. 8. You like spending time alone. Do you like to take time alone to process things, reflect, or get to know your inner self? When you spend time alone to think through your troubles, it can help you sort out your feelings and any possible actions you can take. Reflecting upon things and growing from them are some of the best ways you can learn. Who knows? You might learn new things about your inner self you never expected to. Whether you're still working on building your resilience or you already are a resilient person, every bit counts. Do you relate to any of these things mentioned in this video? Or do you have any tips on building resilience? Let us know in the comments below. Please like and share this video if it helped you and you think it could help someone else too. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Psych2Go videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Thank you. I hope this video helped guide you guys a little bit better when we're looking at, how to be a resilient person, right? Some of the steps. So I will call on Heaven. Heaven, I have a question for you. Who in your life models grit or resilience, and why do they inspire you?
Who of my life shows resilience to me is my older sister. My older sorry, my older sister, because I really do look up to her, and why she looks so resilient to me. Oh, sorry. Why she looks so resilient to me. Mm. It's because I guess like she always like pushes herself, and I low key like that because it's like, okay, like if you can push yourself, I can push myself, and which means like anything is possible as long as my mindset is set to it.
That's right, Heaven. Party emojis for Heaven. That is correct. Anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. I love it. Shout out to your sister. Big sisters are the best. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Heaven. Okay. I am going to call on, let me see how many minutes I have left. Okay, I still have some time. Okay, I will call on Octavio. Octavio, who inspires you, like as a life model for grit and resilience? And what do they do that inspires you?
I say my mom inspires me because like she's hardworking and I never see her like complain. She always like keeps working.
Your mom is that's a wonderful woman. That is incredible. So it inspires you because she's hardworking.
Yeah, like she always like gets through like all her problems.
Mm, yeah, yeah, moms are the best. Motherly figures, women, I'm not biased. Men are great too. But thank you for sharing, Octavia. Okay, I am going to call on Natalia. Who inspires you? And when it concerns grit or resilience, like who's your grit or resilience model? And what do
Oh,
they do?
I think my friend Jimena, who goes to the same high school as me, she's probably like really inspiring to me. She's a year older, she's a junior, and
Mm.
she keeps me like really consistent, I think, in track and cross country because that's where we met. And she's
Mm.
really resilient because she's more of a sprinter. That's not my like events, but when I do sprints with her, like she really pushes me to do it because that's her event, and she's really encouraging. And like I can't stand sprints, and like I admire her resilience for being so good at it and trying to like get better at them.
I love that. One, she's your peer, right? I mean, well, she's older, but in essence, like she's still your peer overall. Two, you guys have a shared value, which is cross country. And there's diversity in, I'm not a sports girly, but at least in the type of, what do you guys call it? What do you call it when it's not the same thing? Like she did sprint and then you're doing, but there's a word for it.
Oh, I don't know. Because for right now, it's like track season and we both do it too. So she's like doing 200s and she's trying to break into the 100s. And like I
Yeah.
do more mid distance. And like,
Okay, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, that thing, that thing. So the diversity between both of that, and you appreciate that she can do something that you can do. Honestly, you having that mindset, it just, first of all, tells me how far you're going to go in life. People that are able to appreciate the strength in somebody else and understand that that might not be my strength, but I appreciate that in them. It just shows that you have a spirit that um, isn't, you're not worried about the next person being better than you. You're worrying about being the best version of yourself. And being the best version of yourself means that you can clap for other people, even when it's seemingly something that you should be have strength in, or it may not be the best thing, but you use words like, you're inspired by her, you're learning from her, and she really pushes you, and that's wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, I have enough time to call on one more person, and I am going to call on let's see. Samantha. Samantha, who inspires you with their grit and their resilience?
I guess my mom, because recently she's been really sick and
Mhm.
school to learn English every single day, and she doesn't miss a class.
Wow.
Like me, who I would miss class.
Samantha, you got to do better. You can't be missing class. But understandable. I love that. I love to hear that your mom is pushing through, even though, life has thrown her something. She's not feeling her best, but she's pushing forward because she wants to learn English. And learning another language is so hard. Trust me. I took Spanish for so many years, and my Spanish is still not it. So, shout out to your mom. I love that. I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, let's move to the next slide. The next class, you guys are going to be talking about the four agreements. So, we're going to explore how words and perceptions shape how you see yourselves and connect with others. You're going to learn how speaking with integrity builds trust and self respect, and how not taking things personal supports confidence and emotional balance. You're going to practice these four agreements. You will develop healthier communication, build stronger relationships, and greater resilience, which we love. So, I've had such a great time with you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your workshop today. Y'all are really funny and awesome and really cool. I really believe in you guys. I think you would do wonderful things. So, remember to keep your grit, remember to keep your resilience, and most important, remember to keep your authenticity. Stay true to yourself at all times, but always remember to become the better version of yourself. Okie dokie. So, I'm going to pass it on to Chris.
Thank you so much, Maliz, for stepping in and handling Torrance class tonight. And moving on, we will give you 90 seconds to finish your workbook and survey. So I'm going to play the timer now. Thank you. So before we move on to our main announcements, I just wanted to remind everyone to please submit your workbook and survey on time. Please remember that even if you attended the class but you did not submit your workbook on time, you will not get any points for the class. So be sure to submit that today or before, on Friday before 5 p.m. And we also have an upcoming Ignite speaker series. This will be a good additional points for you, or if you want to catch up any of your points for this semester, you can join this. You will earn 2 points by attending and also submitting the post survey. This will happen on March 2nd at 6:30 p.m. And the deadline for this is going to be this Friday, before 5 p.m. So be sure to submit your entries. And then you can also earn 4 points. We have another field trip, and that would be the World Cup Symposium. This will happen on March 15th. It's on a Sunday, and the deadline for the RSVP is on March 6th at 5 p.m. The field trip, for those attending the field trip, you may visit the website below that's sent on the chat. So you can know more details about what's going to happen in this event. And we also have a good news for our 12th graders. So the Rotary Club of Los Angeles Foundation is offering scholarships for high need, high performing students in LA County. These funds are awarded as scholarship each year through a program that includes evaluations and interviews for all applicants. So if you're interested, the deadline for this is going to be on March 2nd, and the link is on the chat. For our 11th graders, you don't have to worry because this will open next year. If you have any, or if you also wanted to be updated with any announcements or information, you can visit our student guide website anytime. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in our help form, and we address concerns Monday to Friday only. And I wanted to thank everyone for joining our class today, and also to Maliz for a great session. We hope to see you on the next one. You have a great evening, guys. Take
Thank you,
care.
guys. Good night.